Perhaps the Indians' army comp is better. I don't know. That Frankish rush is so good. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the last game of this epic series between ACCM and Leary. Leary taking the first 2 games. ACCM taking the next 2 games. I'm speaking real fast because this is deathmatch. That's how you cast deathmatch, of course. I have no clue how these players are going to perform on deathmatch, but this is the last game. The last game to decide who gets the point in the series. Man, ACCM's had a really good showing here. Leary's known as the second best player in the world. And ACCM's done really well here. ACCM so far on the defensive. This is Indians versus Franks. Remember, they picked their civilizations from Captain's Mode very early on. Franks probably have an advantage, but normally Indians would have an advantage, but Franks are such a good deathmatch civ. They're a really great civ. Those stables working faster is so good. But the Indians with their Imperial Camels has to be really good too. Has to be really good at countering the Paladins. Of course, there's more to offer for the Franks. They get halbs, they get throwing axemen, they get hand cannons. ACCM on the defensive so far. Here's the KD ratio here. I'm really taking a close eye on that. But ACCM really getting pushed back. Let's take a look at the villager count too. 13 villagers for Leary, 8 for ACCM. ACCM is clearly behind. Let's see if ACCM can hold things off. Looks like this villager might be dead as well. If Leary's paying attention, he is. 1 more villager down. Looks like ACCM is getting the clear up on the front. However, more reinforcements are coming in from Leary. This is all of ACCM's base. Let's take a look at Leary's base. Leary's already got multiple town centers up. The flood is coming in from Leary. A lot of hand cannons being massed. This is going to be a really tough game for ACCM, even at the get-go. I don't know how experienced a lot of these players are with deathmatch. Fast castle coming up from ACCM. Is he thinking about elephant archers? He is. And a few cavalry archers for ACCM as well. I don't agree with the choice of the camel archers right now. Not the camel archers, the elephant archers. I think cavalry archers would probably be the better choice. ACCM going with a lot of archer ranges. Not all of them are building. And I think ACCM might be a little bit of a slower player. This might not favor him too much. You can see 2 archery ranges idle. Town center coming up from ACCM, trying his best. It's 12 villagers versus 23, double the villagers for Leary. ACCM is holding, however, we have a castle here, 2 forward siege workshops from Leary, coming up with another castle. Big, massive hand cannons for Leary. Market coming up. Town center is denied. And now 2 paladins going to go to town on some more villagers. Look at this, 5 town centers for Leary. 6 town centers, I think. 1 coming up over here. How do you get through that massive hand cannons? Now bombard cannons coming in. And I think, despite a really epic showing from ACCM, the last 2 games, a great comeback. Leary might, in the end, take the series, but respect points to ACCM. Taking 2 games away from Leary. ACCM still holding. Imperial Camels breaking through a little bit to get to the hand cannons. We have heavy cavalry archers whittling away in the back. KD is pretty even. Better for Leary. Looking at the gold, both players exhausting their gold. They definitely need their economies up to mine gold. Look at this massive heavy cavalry archers. Leary losing a lot of armies. Leary actually down to 90 population. ACCM up to 120. Perhaps the Indians' army comp is better. I don't know. That Frankish rush is so good with the stables working faster, but ACCM might have held it off. ACCM needs to get his economy going, though. Unless he can keep this momentum going. It is 47 villagers, 50 villagers versus 30 villagers, 20 villager advantage for Leary. This massive heavy cavalry archer is going to be really hard to break. Leary needs to come forward with some siege. So that is going to take some time. All that time, Leary has more town center and is booming up. There's even more castles coming from Leary to help stall things. This one's not really being built. This one's not built as well. This one's being built with 1 villager. What are you doing, Leary? Build faster. Now Paladin's coming over at the right side. Town center and castle being built there. ACCM trying to get as much gold as possible. That's the most important resource, although food is about to be pretty important. But for now, these heavy cavalry archers are going to go to town on the halbs. Should do pretty well against the hand cannons as well. But there's a nice meat shield that's just sitting back there. You need that. Still 20 villager advantage for Leary. And all the army is back for ACCM except for this part. That's not a good engagement for ACCM. Now ACCM built more town centers. Try to get back in the villager number. 46 to 65. These cavalry archers will be great for raiding if you could get the right angle. And there we go. ACCM has the freedom now to be able to raid. But is not really doing it right now. Come on, ACCM, go for a big raid. Go find a good angle. Those heavy cavalry archers can still run away from the paladins if they get in a bad spot, unless you go straight into halbs. Ooh, that was close. That was way too close. 74 versus 60 villagers. It's definitely evening up. There's this hill here. That hill could very much favor Leary. Need the halbs in front. There's nothing to kill the halbs. Just a few hand cannons. A few heavy camels. Camels need to be on the right side. Imperial camels, my bad. Castle might go down. Definitely will go down. Let's see who wins this engagement. Paladins are so strong for the Franks. No more meat shield out in front. The trebuchets need to focus on the hand cannons. A few rams coming out as well. Gonna try to kill that trebuchet. And looks like the heavy cavalry archers are going to be enough. Villager count is now even. We now have even villager counts. This hill is so important. Leary's going to try to build... No, siege workshop on top of it. We have more gold in the bank for ACCM. 2 rams going to go over the left side. Let's see if they'll be successful over there. 1 monk coming out, probably trying to get some relics. This guy's making an outpost. Better map control for Leary. Little base over here as well. Fortunately, these monks are going to get away. Look at them. And this is a good fight if the cavalry archers fight the hand cannons. And now even some heavy scorpions from Leary. Trying to be very creative. But certainly we need to see more Imperial camels. There's not enough meat shield for these heavy cavalry archers. Gotta go back. Gotta go back. Need to see more of a meat shield. Probably more heavy camels. Heavy camels, of course, cost food. How's the economy looking for Leary? Let's take a look at the resources in per minute. One of these. Food per minute. Barely anything for ACCM. Much more for Leary. More wood per minute for ACCM, but food per minute is much more important. So ACCM needs to seed a lot more farms. And these heavy cavalry archers have to go back. Or they're actually going to engage the scorpions head on. That's probably a bad idea. Anything happening here? A few relics being taken. Leary's actually going to start a push on the left side. And ACCM 10 villagers down. Nice farming eco over here. Great place for Leary to try to raid. A lot of idols for ACCM. Needs to sort these out. But I think just needs a lot more of these Imperial camels. And there you go. Imperial camel's going to take out a few of the scorpions. Look at this map control from Leary. Closing in with these castles. Castle coming up from ACCM. But here comes a few halbs. Heavy cavalry is just going to move over to that left side. And we need to see some trebuchets from both players. Trebuchets coming out from both players. ACCM not making use of these other castles. They could be making trebuchets as well. So for now, I think a good goal would be for ACCM to take out these castles and defend his trebuchets with some halbs. Because ACCM can't lose any more space. He's already too much into the corner of the map. Yeah, you can build ships on this one, which we haven't seen so far. Yeah, you could definitely build ships for parts. And it looks like a trebuchet probably went down for ACCM. So that castle probably will go down. These two trebs are on top of the hill. We talked about this hill earlier. Maybe ACCM should have expanded more to the bottom left side instead of the top right side, where that hill is owned by Leary. So I definitely think ACCM should try to expand down over here. And how is this fight going to go? He's going up and down so much. Looks like Leary won that fight. Castle is down. This is all open to raiding. We have a guard tower coming in, but what good will that do? Boom the dummy, we're rooting for ACCM, obviously. Glad we have some fans of him. And a little bit of stabilization, but look at this, Leary with 30 villagers more. Who has a more gold-intensive army? That's usually a good indicator of who has a stronger army. Leary has a much more gold-intensive army, 6,000 gold versus 4,000 gold. And now the raid is commencing on the right side. ACCM trying to take down this castle. Looks like this castle is denied. So ACCM getting some breathing room on this left side. Gonna build a town center here as well, like we said he should have. Meanwhile, this right side is kind of being gutted. And a castle is gonna go down. Let's take a look at the relic count now that we have the opportunity to do so. Relics are 1-to-1, so nothing interesting there. And this might be enough. That's a lot of Frankish paladins. That might be enough to break ACCM. Of course, there's 3 castles in this area. I really like how ACCM has moved the strong part of his base to the left side. Got a lot of space here to expand. We need a lot more army for ACCM and still a bit more economy. Meanwhile, Leary's got all the economy he needs. All he needs to do is focus on army. So ACCM somehow got to clean this up. One more castle going down. That is not going to help ACCM's defense. It looks like another castle could possibly go down for ACCM as well. Not looking good for ACCM as well at all. Losing a lot of villagers. It's 85 villagers versus 123. Look at the map control from Leary. Look at all this base. Look at how much base he has. Covering so much of the map. And there's GG. There's GG. Looked like ACCM might have been able to hold things off. And what a great series. What a great series. All these games. ACCM really showing us what he's made of. But Leary going to take the series and going to take that point at the end. So really hope you enjoyed it. Really enjoyable games on these maps. Somewhat surprisingly, but it's pretty good. Pretty good start to the tournament. And I'll see you in the next series. My name's Nobody. See ya.